Imagine waking up one morning. The sun is shining through the curtains just as it always does, but there's a heavy feeling in your chest. You look in the mirror and you see lines that were not there 10 years ago. You look at your bank account and you see a number that terrifies you. You realize you have passed the half-century mark. You are over 50 years old and you are broke. The panic sets in. The world tells you that the game is over. Society whispers that you should be winding down, planning for retirement, and living off what you have built. But what if you have built nothing? What if the foundation is cracked? Does this mean you are destined to live the rest of your days in scarcity, counting pennies and fearing the electric bill? Absolutely not. In fact, thinking that way is the only thing standing between you and a fortune. Today, we are going to shatter the greatest lie ever told about money and age. We are going to dive deep into the mind of a man who spent more than half a century studying the laws of the universe, Bob Proctor. He taught us that your age has absolutely nothing to do with your income, but your paradigm has everything to do with it. Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, we are not just going to talk about budgeting or saving $5 on coffee. We are going to talk about rewriting the code of your mind to attract massive wealth, even if, and especially if, you are starting late. Most people live their entire lives in a state of quiet desperation. They work jobs they dislike, to buy things they do not need, to impress people they do not even like. When they reach 50, if the money is not there, they feel a sense of defeat that is crushing. But let me ask you a question. Who told you that 50 was the end? Who planted that idea in your mind? Bob Proctor often said that we do not grow old. We get old when we stop growing. The body may change, but the creative energy flowing to and through you never ages. It is as potent today as it was when you were 20. The problem is not your capability. The problem is your programming. You see, most of us have been programmed to believe that we go to school, we get a job, we work for 40 years, and then we retire on a pension that is barely enough to survive. That model is broken. It is obsolete. If you are 50 and broke, you are actually in a perfect position. You have experience, you have wisdom, you have felt the pain of lack, which is a powerful motivator. Now you just need the key to unlock the vault. Let us talk about the paradigm. This is a word Bob used constantly, and for good reason. A paradigm is a multitude of habits that are fixed in your subconscious mind. These habits control your behavior without you even thinking about it. They control how you walk, how you talk, how you greet people, and yes, they control exactly how much money you earn. If you are struggling financially at 50, it is not because the economy is bad or because your industry has changed. It is because you have a poverty paradigm. You have a thermostat setting in your mind that is set to struggle. You could win $1 million in the lottery tomorrow, but if your thermostat is set to poverty, you will lose it all within a short time. We see this happen constantly. Conversely, if you take a person with a prosperity paradigm and strip them of every cent they have, drop them in a new city where they know no one, within a short time they will be wealthy again. Why? Because they are not wealthy because of what they have in their pockets. They are wealthy because of what is going on between their ears. Bob Proctor used to tell a story about a time when he was 26 years old. He was unhappy, sick, and broke. He was earning $4,000 a year and owed $6,000. He was in a hole. Then a man gave him a book and told him that if he did exactly what the book said, he could have anything he wanted. That book was Think and Grow Rich. Bob did not believe it at first, but he had nothing to lose. He started to study. Not just read, but study. And his income went from $4,000 a year to $175,000 a year, and then over $1 million a year. He did not get younger. He did not go back to school. He changed his paradigm. Now, you might be thinking, well, that is great for him, but I am 50. My brain is set in its ways. This is where science comes in to back up what Bob taught. For a long time, scientists believed that the brain stopped developing after childhood. They thought that by the time you were an adult, your neural pathways were fixed like concrete. If that were true, you would be right to worry. But modern neuroscience has discovered something called neuroplasticity. This proves that the brain is plastic, it is malleable, and it can change at any age. Every time you learn something new, every time you think a new thought, you are creating new neural connections. You can physically rewire your brain to think like a millionaire at 50, 60, or even 80 years old. The ability to learn and change does not disappear. It simply requires focus and repetition. The reason you feel stuck is not biology. It is a lack of repetition of the right ideas. You have been repeating the wrong ideas for 50 years. You have been telling yourself, money is hard to get, or rich people are greedy, or I am just not lucky. Those thoughts have dug deep grooves in your mind. To get out of poverty, we have to fill in those grooves and dig new ones. Now, before we go any further into the specific techniques on how to overwrite this programming, I want to ask you for a small favor that helps us immensely. If you are finding value in this video, if you feel a spark of hope igniting in you, please click the like button below. It tells the algorithm that this content matters. And if you have not already, subscribe to the channel so you do not miss the tools you need to build your new life. I also want you to go to the comment section right now and type a specific phrase. I want you to type, "My best days are ahead of me." Type it out. Feel the words as you type them. My best days are ahead of me. This simple act is a declaration to the universe and to your own subconscious mind that you are open to receiving abundance. Do it now, and then let us continue. Let us address a major fear that people over 50 face, the fear that they have run out of time to capitalize on the law of compensation. Bob Proctor explained the law of compensation clearly. It states that the amount of money you earn will always be an exact ratio to three things. Number 1, the need for what you do. Number 2, your ability to do it. And number 3, the difficulty there is in replacing you. Notice that nowhere in that law does it mention age. Nowhere does it mention your college degree. It focuses on value. If you want to get out of poverty, you must stop looking for a job and start looking for a way to provide service. Money is nothing more than a reward for service rendered. If you are broke, it is because you are not rendering enough service, or the service you are rendering is not unique enough. Many people at 50 make the mistake of trying to compete with 20-year-olds for entry-level jobs. That is a losing battle. You have decades of life experience. You have solved problems, navigated relationships, and managed crises that a young person cannot even imagine. You need to look at your skills through a new lens. What can you do better than anyone else? What problem can you solve? Perhaps you have been a parent for 30 years. You have organizational skills that could help a chaotic business. Perhaps you have been a mechanic. You understand systems in a way others do not. You must find the need, improve your ability to fill that need, and become irreplaceable. When you do that, the money flows. It has to flow. It is a law. But how do you find that confidence when you have been beaten down by life? You have to use your imagination. Bob often said that imagination is the most marvelous, miraculous, inconceivably powerful force the world has ever known. Yet most adults stop using it around the age of 7 or 8. We are told to stop daydreaming and pay attention. We let our imagination lie dormant. Or worse, we use our imagination against ourselves. We worry. Worry is simply using your imagination to create something you do not want. If you are 50 and broke, I guarantee you are an expert at worrying. You imagine the bills piling up. You imagine the car breaking down. You imagine getting sick and having no money for care. You are visualizing poverty with intense emotion, and the law of attraction is delivering exactly what you are ordering. We need to flip that energy. I want to give you a practical exercise, something Bob Proctor swore by. It is not just positive thinking. It is a psychological tool to shift your vibration. You need to create a gold card. This is a small card that you can carry in your pocket. On this card, you are going to write down exactly what you want. Not what you think you can get, not what is reasonable, but what you want. Maybe you want to earn $10,000 a month. Maybe you want to start a consulting business. Maybe you want to travel the world. Write it in the present tense, as if it has already happened. Write, I am so happy and grateful now that, and fill in the blank.
For example, I am so happy and grateful now that I am earning $10,000 every month through multiple sources of income. Now here is the secret. You must read this card every morning when you wake up and every night before you go to sleep, and as often as you can during the day. Why? Because you are bombarding your subconscious mind with a new image. At first, your mind will reject it. It will say, "You are a liar. You are 50. You are broke. You do not have $10,000. Ignore that voice. That voice is just your old paradigm trying to survive. Keep reading the card. Eventually, through repetition, the idea will slip past the conscious barrier and take root in the subconscious. Once it is in the subconscious, your vibration changes. You start to walk differently. You start to see opportunities that were always there, but you were blind to them. You might meet someone at a coffee shop who needs exactly what you can offer. You might see a book that gives you the perfect business idea. This is not magic, it is awareness. You are tuning your reticular activating system to look for wealth instead of poverty. Let us talk about the concept of time and money. There is a terrible misconception that you trade time for money. This is the worst trade you can make. You have a finite amount of time. If you trade time for money, your income is capped. Wealthy people trade value for money. They set up sources of income that work while they sleep. Bob Proctor called this MSI, or multiple sources of income. You might think, I do not have money to invest. How can I create sources of income? You do not need money to start. You need an idea. In the digital age we live in, creating a source of income has never been easier or cheaper. You can write an ebook about your life experiences. You can create a course teaching a skill you have mastered over the last 30 years. You can record audiobooks. You can offer consulting services. The barrier to entry is almost zero. The only barrier is your belief that you can do it. Consider Colonel Sanders. He is the classic example, but the story never gets old because it is so powerful. He was 65 years old. He had a beat-up car and a recipe for fried chicken. He was living on a tiny Social Security check. He could have given up. He could have said, I am too old, it is too late. Instead, he left his home and traveled around the country. He slept in his car. He went into restaurants and cooked his chicken for the owners. He was told no 1,009 times. Can you imagine the resilience that takes? 1,009 rejections. But he got a yes on the 1,010th try, and from that yes, he built an empire. If a man at 65 can build a global empire, starting with nothing but a chicken recipe and a refusal to quit, what is stopping you at 50? Nothing but the story you keep telling yourself. One of the biggest obstacles you will face is your environment. If you are broke at 50, look at the 5 people you spend the most time with. Are they also broke? Do they complain about the economy? Do they talk about their aches and pains and how unfair life is? If so, you are in a toxic environment for wealth creation. Bob Proctor was adamant about this. If you want to fly with the eagles, you cannot scratch with the turkeys. You might love your friends and family, but you cannot afford their mindset. You do not have to cut them out of your life completely, but you must protect your mind. Stop discussing your dreams with people who have settled for mediocrity. They will only drag you down to their level, not because they are malicious, but because your growth makes them uncomfortable. It highlights their own lack of action. Seek out people who are doing better than you. Listen to podcasts. Read biographies of successful people. Surround yourself with a vibration of success. Now I want to challenge you. This is the challenge I mentioned earlier. It is simple, but it is not easy. It requires discipline. For the next 30 days, I want you to go on a mental diet. Just like you would go on a diet to detox your body, we are going to detox your mind. For 30 days, you are not allowed to dwell on a negative thought about money. Not one. If a negative thought comes in, like, I cannot afford this, you must immediately stomp it out and replace it with its opposite, like, I am attracting abundance. You must also stop watching the news. The news is designed to keep you in fear. Fear is the enemy of wealth. Stop complaining. If you catch yourself complaining about a bill, stop and say, I am grateful for the service this bill represents. If you pay an electric bill, be grateful for the light and heat. Shift your energy from resentment to gratitude. If you can do this for 30 days without cheating, you will see your life transform.
Your anxiety will drop, your energy will rise, and money will start to show up in unexpected ways. But if you dwell on a negative thought, you have to start the 30 days over. Most people cannot make it past 48 hours. Prove to yourself that you are different. Let us dig a little deeper into the fear of risk. At 50, people become conservative. They think they need to hold on to what little they have. This is a poverty trap. You cannot shrink your way to wealth. You have to expand. Nature implies that you are either creating or disintegrating. There is no standing still. If you are holding on to your money out of fear, you are sending a signal of lack to the universe. You are saying, there is no more coming, so I must hoard this. That vibration blocks the flow. You must be willing to circulate money to get it back. I am not saying to be reckless. I am saying to invest in yourself. Buy that course. Hire that coach. Go to that seminar.
The best investment you can ever make is in your own mind. When you invest in yourself, you are telling the universe, I believe in my future. I believe I am an asset worth developing. That confidence is magnetic. Another profound concept Bob taught is the idea of acting as if. You must act like the person you want to become before you are that person. If you want to be a wealthy executive or business owner, how would that person dress? How would they stand? How would they speak? Would they walk around with their shoulders slumped, complaining about their back? No, they would walk with purpose. Start dressing the part. Clean up your house. Order creates a clear mind. Even if your clothes are old, wash them, press them, and wear them with dignity. Treat your current money with respect. Organize your wallet. Do not crumble your bills. Keep them straight and facing the same way. These small physical acts signal to your subconscious that you respect money and are ready for more of it.
It is about raising your frequency to match the frequency of wealth. Think about the thermostat analogy again. If the room is set to 60 degrees and you open the window to let in warm air, the room might heat up to 70 degrees for a moment. But as soon as you close the window, the thermostat kicks in and brings the temperature back down to 60. This is why lottery winners lose their money. Their financial thermostat is set low. To change the temperature permanently, you do not need to open the window. You need to change the setting on the thermostat. You change the setting by changing your self-image. You have to see yourself as a wealthy person. Close your eyes and visualize your life 5 years from now. See the house you live in. Smell the leather of the car you drive. Feel the texture of the clothes you wear. Hear the conversations you are having. Make it real in your mind.
The subconscious mind cannot tell the difference between what is real and what is vividly imagined. If you feed it these images over and over, it will go to work to make them your reality. It will drive you to take actions you never would have taken before.